Thank you, Murius, for the introduction, and good morning to all. So I'm the newly starting HRB-TMRN PhD scholar based in Trinity College Dublin, and my PhD topic is Embedding Trials in Routine Healthcare. So basically I'll be
Keep talking.
quickly going through the background, the context of my study, the aim methodology, and the impact. So we all know that the fact that randomized clinical trials are very essential for evidence-based medicine. But we might have, well-designed studies, which are very, very well funded, might have all the state-of-the-art technologies, but if we cannot recruit participants, then it's all waste. However, we know that insufficient recruitment has become a perennial challenge, and this has been cited over and over again. So we know for the fact that less than 50% of the trials meet recruitment targets, whether or not they're given extensions. And one of the studies which terminated studies shows that only 20% of the clinical trials that were terminated were informative terminations, which related to safety, efficacy, or futility. Majority of the clinical trials were of insignificant terminations, and the major share was related to under-recruitment. And recruitment is challenging whether or not whatever type of study, whatever type of healthcare it belonged to, or the study sponsor. So this all leads to futile, unproductive research. So what are the implications? So the unsuccessful recruitment would lead to reduced sample, which then leads to biased results, which is not clinically meaningful. And then we always talk about risk-benefit analysis, and we put it right in the beginning of the protocol, but it doesn't really make sense if we cannot recruit participants. This cannot be useful at the end, which then exposes human subjects as research participants without any gains to science. And again, because of which we stagnate critical healthcare questions, leading to duplication, which is again leading to financial burden to the research enterprise. So I have the priority paper up here, which many of you are aware, or contributors or authors to, or even participants. So for the benefit of those who don't know what the priority study is, it is basically a partnership between HRB-TMRN and the James Lind Alliance, which they're basically looking at, we know that recruitment is a serious problem. What are the important questions that we can ask to tackle the problem? They came together and they consulted across different stakeholders, which included clinicians, researchers, funders, and people from the public. They all came together and collectively brought out this 10 important questions, of which the number one question is, how can randomized trials become part of routine care and best utilize current clinical care pathways? So this is my current plan. I'm trying to answer this question in 5 phases over the next 3 years. So the first step is concept analysis, and it is very important because the routine clinical care is quite variable. It's quite, and it's very important as a researcher to understand where it fits and to understand it very clearly. And I would sort of develop my survey based on the concept analysis, which then feeds into the qualitative interviews, which is, and then will bring out recommendations and integration and then dissemination. So concept analysis, as I said, this is basically to bring out clarity in the term routine clinical care. If I have to give you other examples like physical abuse or empathy, these are very commonly used terminologies, but yet is not very clearly defined. So this is Well, I'll be reviewing the concept analysis frameworks, conduct the literature search, and analyze the concept, which this will help me build up my quantitative surveys. So in the survey, I'll be looking at a target specific area, a focused area of healthcare, where I will be testing this. We'll develop a survey, test the validity, and conduct the survey, and then analyze this. Then I have phase 3, where I would recruit and conduct interviews and transcribe the interviews and analyze it again. So I feel the mixed methods would best suit this sort of a study, because it would help me give a comprehensive answer, because I have a qualitative, quantitative data set with a qualitative aspect with it will give me a very good mix of understanding. And the impact would basically mean, we all know that this is an international problem. So I think this would build a knowledge base on normalizing trials and to better understand how we can efficiently recruit better. Thank you.